Greetings hobbyists, this is Artisans of Vool, and in this video we're making chainmail. So I've seen a few videos of people making chainmail. We're going to do a similar thing. We're going to show how to make it and then I'll show you how to manipulate it, but importantly along the way I'm going to give you some tips and explanation that a lot of the videos I've seen out there generally miss. So let's just shift and A, mesh, and we'll start with a torus. And let's make this a bit rounder, so I'm going to click and drag down and up that to 64. You don't have to do that, but I want it probably rounder than it needs to be. And we're going to down this minor radius, maybe there, let's call it 0.15, something like that. Now at this point we need to rotate this around, and I'm going to hit tab and go into any form of edit mode. Now I've got this menu because I have machine tools, but for you just hit tab. It doesn't matter what version we're in, and we're just going to go side on. I'm just going to R and 90, so we're this way up. Then I'm going to come to the Z axis, so if this is from above, and then R and probably go to somewhere there-ish. I'm going to call this 40, so something about there. And then we can tab and come back into object mode. Now, I'm just going to explain why we did that in edit mode, and sort of easy once you understand what Blender's doing. But if I just bring another torus, bring it over here, I can R and then Y that 90 degrees, and then R and then Z that 40 degrees as well. Let's do it over there. But this was all done in object mode, which means when we do the next stage, which is going to be to add an array, so we'll just come to our modifier, Shift and A and array, that will then work in the direction of this object. You'll notice this is on the x-axis, but in the world space is in the z-axis, and that gets a little bit annoying. Now we can also control an A and apply the rotation, and that's going to fix this, so that's the other way you could have done this. Anyway, let's get this chainmail ring, and I'm going to want another one. So let's just Shift and D, and then Z to bring it down, somewhere there-ish. Let's go into edit mode again. Now let's get to a slightly better viewing angle, and we're going to R, Z, and then 80. So we've basically gone back to the center, which is 40, and then another 40 along. Let's just go back into object mode and just sort of bring this over a bit, maybe to about here, somewhere there. Now what we're going to need to do is start arraying these. I'm actually going to start with the bottom one. So let's just come to our modifier panel, which is the wrench, Shift and A, array, and then we'll put in our array. Now at the moment this is going in the x-axis, we want this in the y-axis, looking at our gimbal. So I'm going to turn off relative offset, constant offset is on, x to 0, and let's just get this y till it's about in the right place, somewhere about there. That's maybe a little bit too much. Let's go there, we'll call it -1.2. There we go. So that should fit. So we've got our chainmail. Now, this becomes easy. We can just up this. Great. Now, what we're going to need is another set of these, or actually multiples of these. And what I'm going to do for now is just work out how much further down I want to go. So Shift and D, Z, and the next ring is going to be about there, minus pretty much 3. And I'm looking in the top right-hand corner for that. So with me knowing that's the right amount, we need this to have another array in the Z direction. So Shift and A, array again, and then we want it to be constant, not relative, 0 on the x, and we're going to have 3 in the y. Let's hit that. Oh no, -3. There we go. Now this may look like an old way to do it, but we're just going to speed this up with an add-on called copy attributes. So go to get extensions, type in copy, and you've got this copy attributes menu, click install there. And what that now means I can do is click on the object that has got none of the modifiers, shift click on the one with the modifiers last, control and C, and I've got this copy menu, and I'm going to go to copy modifiers. And suddenly all of the modifiers that were on these rings are now on this set. So we've just sped everything up a little bit. Now here's the first tip that I really want to mention, and that is that you always get people then coming here and saying, okay, cool, I can now up my count here. And then I go to this one, and then I can up my count here. And then if I want to make this longer, I come to this one and that array, and then I up my count, and then have to go back to this one and that one, and then up my... It's just a total waste of time. What we want to do is actually make this so this is really way more efficient. So our first efficiency is I don't want to have to select both of these. I just want to select one and G, and it moves everything. So I'm going to click on the second row, shift click on the first one, control and P, and parent to object. So now if I move this, all of it moves. I don't need to do it individually. The other thing I want is to not have to keep jumping between them to change the arrays. I've already got 2 arrays. I don't want to have to be dealing with 4 from the other set. So what we're going to do here is use drivers, which never seem to get mentioned in tutorials, and I just don't know why. Now, a basic driver like this is very easy to set up. All we're going to do is tell this to always have the same count as this. So we're going to come to our array, the one at the top, and we're going to click on count, and this is with the top object selected, and then right click, and we are going to copy as a new driver. So just there. Come to our second one, make sure we're on the same array, come to count, right click, and paste driver. And there we go. This one is 10, so now that one's 10. And I can up this one, and it ups the other one. Really, really easy. We'll do the same thing for the other array. Come to the second array, the one that's on the Z-axis, right click, and then copy as new driver. Come to this one, second one, right click, paste driver. And now this one, if we come to the Z-axis and up the count, it does it for the other one. There we go, drivers sorted. And suddenly it's going to take us half the amount of time to change anything about our chainmail. And there we go, that's pretty much it. We've got our chainmail sorted, and we can make this as wide as we want. So let's go to our first array, and we can make this as deep as we want. There we go, that easy, great. Now that we've got this, I just want to take a little bit of time to mention something else. This is a 3D printing channel, it's what I generally focus on. So I want to just talk about something 3D printed related. So I'm going to get another torus, and for this I'm going to up the minor radius. I'm going to make it wider so that everything's a little bit more exaggerated and more pronounced. And importantly, let's just move this to the side, we're going to want to change something, because if I wanted this to be for a model, for a miniature, so it's going to be pretty small scaled, this isn't going to work. With all of these holes and everything not being properly joined together, it's never going to print, and even if I did have a little bit of overlap here, this still would just not print very nicely. It would work perfectly fine if it was over the top of something. Let's say I had we'll just use a cube for now. Let's just say I had something here, and this is going to be slightly overlapping there. That would be perfectly acceptable. That would print perfectly alright, and it would show some good texture to it. So this might be like cloth or clothes or something like that. But if I wanted this to be free hanging chainmail, this just won't work. So I just want to quickly talk about how we could make it work. I'm just going to go into face mode, Alt select that row there and that row there. I'm just going to X and delete out these faces, and then importantly what I'm going to do is edge mode, select that edge there, F, and then come here, select that edge there and F. Then we're going to Alt select that, and then Alt select that. I'm just going to Control and B, and just bevel this, press C to clamp it, and just sort of scroll that up to somewhere about there. And I'm making this sort of like blood cell shape. So it's like a disc with a flattened center. And I can Control and 2 that if I want to make it a little bit more rounded. But importantly, it's got some thickness to the middle. And what that means is, if I make exactly the same thing again, if I make some chainmail in the same way, this will be solid, which means that it will 3D print. So if you are 3D printing, that's just something to bear in mind. Right, let's make this flexible. So what we're going to do is Shift A, and we're going to bring in a lattice. Our lattice is over here, and it's quite small. So let's just S to scale that up. And I'm just going to get it approximately in the middle. S, and then there, and then I need to just do a little bit more on the Z-axis. And a little bit bigger is perfectly fine. And if you want to up the size of this, you might want to make it a lot bigger. But we don't want to have this in a cube. So I'm going to come to my lattice, come there, and then we're going to change our resolution. So at the moment, we've got our X, Y, and Z axis, and for a lattice, they call that U, V, and W, which basically is X, Y, and Z. And on our X axis here, we don't want this to have a thickness, so I'm just going to change that down to 1. And now we've got a lattice that's basically a plane. Now this is good because it's not going to deform our chainmail rings as much, but we're going to want to up our V and W. Let's just call that 16, and same for our W. Could be more. And then we can do this lattice either as another modifier in our modifier panel, so lattice, and then we select the lattice, and then we select our object, and then select here. Or we can do it a little bit more quickly because we've got multiple objects to do. So let's just get rid of that. We can select both of them and then our lattice, Control and P, and then if we click lattice to form, what that's going to do here is just have added a lattice to both of them. So it's just a little bit faster. Now from this point, I can go to my lattice, go to edit mode, and then I can move bits around. So let's say if I move this and G, and it's going to move our chainmail. Now this is going to deform it in a pretty ugly way. So what we're actually going to want to do is deform it in a little bit of a better way. And for that, I'm going to click here for proportional editing, and that should probably be okay. And now if I scroll my mouse wheel up, you can see we're affecting everything. So I can start moving my chainmail around. Let's just get that there. We could do a little bit less. So now we've got our chainmail. So this gives us some nice deformable chainmail that we can now use on our models. So hopefully that's going to be useful and gives you something fun to play around with. As always, a like would be appreciated, and I'll put this file up on the Patreon, so if you'd like to support the channel further, the Patreon is the place to do that. You get these videos a week ahead of time, ad-free, and if you go for the 3D design tier, you get a range of 3D files each month. Hope to see you in the next video, and have a great day.